Well, we hit 13K, and I brought a ghost on the podcast.
That's, well, you know what? 13 is the unlucky number, right? For everyone, except for Italians.
Except for Italians.
Except for Italians. Well, apparently it's a really lucky number.
I like that hat.
You know what? This is a very nice hat. If you don't know, this is a Say What Again Billy podcast hat, which you can get the merch on the website, which I'm sure the link is now over my head. You want to grab it while you can because it is a limited run.
Yes, we are working with Diamondback Sports, and I got to get the name right. Sporting Goods, because I said Diamondback Printing, but it's not. It's Diamondback Sports and Apparel, something to that extent.
Okay.
So I want to make sure I say it right because Artie's a good dude and he's doing us a solid. Him and Abby are running our link to their store and everything. They're putting in hard work.
And this hat is very nice material. Dude, it's a nice design.
We're not just saying
seriously,
that.
I don't really like snapbacks, and I like the design on this.
We're not just saying that. They're doing a good job. So what they do is we have a pop-up store, and they open it once they get their orders in. After a couple of days, they shut it down, and then I ask Abby to run it back up, and people can make the orders. So there are quite a few people that ordered, and you'll be getting your order at some point in the third week of July because they got to make the stuff and send it out. But yeah, Diamondback Sporting Apparel and Artie and Abby are working really hard. So, but Nick,
I mean, thank God it's your name on there, and it's, or maybe Joey's face, because they'd be working twice as hard if it was me on there.
No, we're still a tripod. We're gonna get you in here.
I'm the short leg.
We are figuring things out to accommodate the distance of you. That's not really that far, but it's just a schedule.
Right, it's a timing thing, right? Because like I know. Although summertime makes it a little easier because I have a lot more freedom. I know you have some more free time, and weekends make it easier because I don't have to travel 6 days a week. Now I'm only traveling 4 days a week. So an extra day is not killing me to make an extra trip.
Well, we are going to get you in more. We're going to go to How You Brewing Cafe.
I cannot wait.
So you could try that out.
Cannot wait.
And we're going to, and there's a lot of content coming up. I have like basically almost a solo-esque trip coming up where I have to do a lot of work practically on my own.
Lindsay, he told me about this. You told me about this off camera, and I told you you're crazy.
Lindsay boarding house. I'm potentially going to sleep there. Hopefully, I'm going to go and try to book a stay there, and then at the same time in the same week going over to Salem, Massachusetts.
See, Salem, I told you, Salem I'm okay with. Like Salem, I would love to go to Salem. I would love to see forget the supernatural history, just the history in general of Salem, but the paranormal history is fantastic there. I mean, it's probably bar none in this country, nowhere better. Maybe Gettysburg. But the Lizzie boarding house, you're nuts.
I don't want to get really too into it because that's not what we're talking about today. But the Lindsay boarding house was, I mean, there are alleged paranormal activity. It's just the murder that happened there.
Yeah.
By the daughter of the family. You know what I mean? So that's just really it. And then you're staying potentially in one of the rooms where she axed up somebody.
I will say this now, and I've said this before, and if you've ever watched Supernatural, they've given interviews, Jensen and Jared. The creepiest things are not the paranormal. It's when it's a human doing it.
Right. It's when a person does it. And there's a lot of weird stories and horror stories with murder. And, some of like the Netflix documentary that came out where it's called Fraternal Instinct, where the girl was a pathological liar and she went so far to say that she was pregnant to do what she did. I don't want to blow it for anyone who hasn't watched it, but goddamn, that was insane. Like, that's scarier than a ghost story.
Yeah.
What she did. So.
Definitely the creepiest things on earth are what the regular humans are doing.
Yes. Now, bringing it back to the hat, the good thing about buying Swab merch?
It's physically in my hand.
On your head.
Oh, yeah. You know what? It's funny because it's been a while. So Billy and I were talking about how he was just going to send me a code to download my hat.
That would be pretty bad, no?
That would be bad. Like, what company in the world would just really, send you a code and say all you can do is download their stuff?
I could tell you it rhymes with phony.
Maybe pony?
Ravioli?
I don't know, that one might be a stretch.
Stretch.
But, so, it's funny because I'm a gamer. Mm-hmm. my entire life. I've been gaming on systems. I played on the Atari, and this is how old I am. The Coleco, the Intellivision, the Commodore 64. My brother had all these older systems. My brother's from a different generation.
Closer to that mic, buddy. There you go.
Okay. So hopefully this here's better.
That's better.
And my brother, I just kicked it. My brother had all these older systems. Like I said, the Intellivision, the Commodore, the Atari. I played on those. He had a Nintendo set up on his, I don't know, 15-inch, 16-inch tube television. I used to play Duck Hunt. And if you ever played Duck Hunt and you were a 5-year-old, you were right up on the screen clicking it and still losing. So I've been playing forever, all the way from Nintendo's original system to now, which is the PlayStation 5 generation, the Nintendo Switch 2, which I don't play that. I don't really have a lot of time to do that. I play on my PlayStation more than anything else. There's one. I will get it, though, because they are going to remake, probably, in my opinion, the best Legend of Zelda game ever, which they're remaking Ocarina of Time. So I will probably be forced into getting one. I didn't get the latest iteration of Xbox because I kind of fell off of playing Xbox games, and I was playing PlayStation. And I am a Pokemon kid, so that means I got to collect things, right? It's just like a compulsion. I want to be able to display. I also want to be able to play what I want to play, watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. Like Netflix is convenient. Netflix put Blockbuster out of business because it was way more convenient than Blockbuster, and at the time, cheaper. Amazon put people out of business because at the time, cheaper. Now, not so much. Now their prices are pretty much the same as everybody else. But they had an advantage. Now, Sony, which is the company, and I'm a PlayStation person. Like, I have had a PS1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I even had a PSP. For what reason, I don't know, because I never used it. They announced probably about 4, 5, 6 days ago that they are no longer, as of 2028, going to produce physical discs. I have never seen the entire gaming world unite, and not just the gaming world, the way that this backlash is coming up against Sony right now.
So I'm going to pause you there. So whatever thought you were going to say after that, hold on to. We had Dario Anthony. He's part of our crew. He is a actor and a writer. He was on a lot of entertainment on TV, Broadway, and movies, even music videos. And of course, he was also on Red Dead Redemption 2 on a DLC pack that was brought to the game. Obviously, they knew it was going to be a DLC. He pre-filmed it. And so he's had experience with video games. I think that's Rockstar, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Rockstar game.
And
which we'll get into how that might have
we've had many of conversations, and one of the conversations that Dario has brought up is that he is still very much on board, even though it is trending on to the dying side.
Well, I got something for you that you might not know.
Blu-ray and DVDs is something that if you go to anybody, like right now, you go, hey, do you still watch DVDs? Chances are they're going to say no, because everyone is streaming and Netflixing and Amazoning and whatever. But he's very much on board with DVD, Blu-ray, and owning the movie that, you know, especially what Nick said is if you have something that you like to play, you want to be able to, at any given time, to pop that into the system and play it. And that's what a lot of people still do. People still have 64 and Super Nintendo, and they are actively popping in their games when they're bored to play just that. And we had a discussion with him that he is very fearful that at some point in time, everything is going to be digital. And there's been not conspiracies, but news that cars are going to be encoded with digital things where you can't drive your car unless you have some type of digital footprint, which means if you don't pay your bill and you don't do certain things or whatever the case may be, they could shut your car off. So you own a car, but you don't really own a car, because if you do something that is you're behind on a payment, even if it's not a significant one or whatever else, your car can be shut off. Now we see that movies don't really come out on DVD anymore. Obsession came out digitally recently, yesterday, 2 days ago. Will we get a DVD of it? I don't remember recently any of the newer movies being DVD.
So they do have some. I mean, you know, the really big blockbuster movies come out still on Blu-ray, typically the 4K ones. And I can get into the difference between ownership and physical media all you want. But here's some some interesting things, right? So number one, I want to just touch base on and I will never have thought that I would give a compliment to the generation that comes after us, but Generation Z has actually gotten vinyl sales back up. The Blu-ray sales are back up year over year. Even the decline in physical media sales have gone down. It's still going down, but it's gone down. The difference between 2025 and 2026 was a drastic drop-off because Gen Z said they're burnt out on the streaming. They're burnt out on the smartphones. They've actually gone and gotten flip phones. So they're going backwards in technology. They want to be more connected.
You see Razer came out with a flip phone again?
But is it the one that's the screen? It's not just a flip phone, right? It's a smartphone.
It does. But it flips. It's like the nostalgia, and obviously you're maybe limited to what you can and can't do. But there's people that are making this better again. You heard it here first. If Nextel comes back, I wouldn't be surprised.
There is a phone. I feel like it's called the Lumia, but I might be wrong. 440. It actually is not a smartphone. Like, you can make phone calls, you can text, you can
video,
you can take some slight videos, but it's like for your consumption. You can't post to social media. You can't download any of those apps at all. They don't exist. I think you may be able to get online for like something like, but not to the extent of smartphones. Basically, if you're old enough and you accidentally ever click the internet button, you would be clicking it off as fast as possible because you didn't want to pay for it. Not that you'd get charged more, but that it will like limit what you can do, and it'll bring it back to just being a phone. All right, and a keypad to text. And you see me going like this because we used to have to text like that, right? If you wanted to text a message, you better learn, especially if it was something on the 7, you better learn how to hit that number 4 times if you needed that last letter. But yeah, the physical media, right? So there's two distinctions here I want to touch, right? First is the older systems. When you got a game, you got the complete game. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, 64, probably even PS1, PS2, that era GameCube. When the game came out, you didn't get a day one patch. You didn't get a day one update. There was no microtransactions. There was no loot boxing. There was no DLC. It was the game. On occasion, they'd have a game of the year or a greatest hit where they would include like bonus stuff that the studio found some extra money or whatever, and they were like, we wanted to include this, we couldn't include this in time for the game release, and so you would get like it prepackaged, and it would come on a different disc. It would be yours physically. You owned it. Now, EULA, which nobody ever reads, those are end user license agreements. It actually says you don't own it even when you own it, even the physical one, because especially if you have to patch it. So you can buy a physical game and you can play what's on the disc, but if you want the update, you still got to go through their server. It doesn't exist on the disc. So that's a problem too. However, I still enjoy the actual concept of, I have downloaded a few digital games, and I do have a PlayStation membership, which right now is pending cancellation because I am very annoyed. It's really aggravating because as a person who's played forever, I don't want the physical medium to go away. I don't want them to snatch away whenever they feel. Like recently, they took away 551 movies because they lost their licensing for it. So it doesn't matter if you paid them for it, you lost it.
I wrote on someone's post the other day about this, about when I heard the news. You sent it to me, and then I immediately went to social media. And of course, when you see it somewhere first, in a matter of an hour, it's your everywhere.
Whole feed, yep.
It's everywhere. So I made a comment. Which PlayStation do you own?
Are you asking me or you asked the person?
Oh, I'm asking you.
Oh, I have all the way from 1 to 5.
No. The PS5 you currently own.
Oh, the one with a disc drive.
Yes.
Not the Pro, the original PlayStation 5 with a disc drive.
Right. So I bought the disc version because I was very adamant about going to GameStop or someplace that may release a game early, popping the disc into the PlayStation, and playing the game. Now, I have found myself throughout the course since PlayStation 5 has come out downloading because it's just a little bit easier. You could pre-order online, and
well, that's by design too.
But PS5 is back platform,
backwards compatible, so you can play your PS4 games.
Right, you can go up to PS4, which I had a few. So now I'm thinking to myself, I was like, okay, Sony wants to be this way. People who bought the PlayStation 5 and spent the extra $100, because it was an extra $100, I believe, when it first came out.
The one with the disc drive was more expensive than the one without.
Right. So
same thing with the Xbox when they came out.
You could potentially file a lawsuit against PlayStation for selling a product which they already knew they had this planned. You know, they don't just make a decision. You know, they wake up one day and the executives, they're like, we're going to do away with physical copies. You don't just do that. They kind of had that planned out, I would say.
You can check, too, because they have a factory in Austria where they already started reassigning their workers who made 500,000, 600,000 discs a year. They've already basically stripped it down to 100,000 a year.
So if you own a PlayStation 5 with the disc insert for it, you have a potential for a lawsuit because you bought their product, which includes of insert for discs that you may purchase, and now your product that you bought from Sony, which they included, is now obsolete less than what? 10 years?
I think, yeah, it's going to be less than 10 years. This is the longest recent because of all the shortage with the memory, so they haven't released the next generation anyway. Plus, it was expensive at launch. A lot of people couldn't get it. It was during COVID. And it's also, you know, it's prohibitively expensive right now to make the next system. You're looking at somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 just for the system with no disk drive because they're saying no more discs, right? Although they make peripherals that you could buy and attach. Xbox was the same way. Nintendo sells these game cards with the codes on them that aren't really game cards. They're just booters. So I have a problem with all of that. But it also takes away a couple of things, right? It takes away the ability. I had the luxury, I had the privilege that I could buy new games. Not everybody can buy new games. I don't buy new games all the time either. Sometimes I have a backlog. I don't want to spend $60, $70, or $80 on a brand new game. I'll try and catch GameStop, buy two, get one free on used, right? Or anywhere when they have a deal, like 20% off, 30% off. Okay, so I'll play the retailers against each other. And you can get a deal. You can get a game that's cheaper, especially a single player game or even a multiplayer game that isn't a sports title, because, you know, those are every year. Who cares, right? They're the same thing. Maybe an update here or there. So you're going to do away with that market, and you're going to price out people who may not be able to afford these higher level games, right? That's one problem. But the bigger lawsuit, I know you talk about lawsuit, the bigger lawsuit is an anti-monopoly lawsuit. You know, Apple got sued and they lost. And this is Apple, been doing this forever because their Apple store doesn't allow for certain things. Like you can't get certain things in the Apple store. Well, they got sued and they lost. And now they have to let certain third parties into that store to run their apps, because they were accused and found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of running a monopoly-like situation. They set the prices. There's no competition. How are you going to complain? Sony has an $80 disc, but I can get it used for $40. If you look at some games, and I'm not going to do it because there's been so many people who did it online already, you could look at a game that released 5 years ago in GameStop is listed at, let's say, $30. The digital version of the same game with no disc, no cover art, no case, no nothing, $60 launch price.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool. Now, do I personally feel so taken back by that they're doing this? I've been saying that I've been buying digital fairly recently for quite some time. Actually, there was a really good game and it's still got life. I feel like it's never going to die. Maybe in the next couple of years or a year or two. But Helldivers is an exceptionally good game. It's very similar to Starship Troopers. You fight bugs, robots, and they keep adding on to the game. And there's still a big game base to it. Digital. There was no hard copy of the game. So if you went to find Helldivers at Best Buy, Target, even GameStop, it was digital only. So that's a game that I played the hell out of for a while. When I bought MLB The Show, I play that competitively every year. I bought it the last 4 years digitally. I still have DVDs. I still, literally right behind you, I have behind the chair. It's like you have to really put your hand back.
Oh, no, I'm going to grab this one. This is...
I have...
Season 1
of the best show ever made when it comes to the paranormal, supernatural.
Here's an interesting fact about that. I never saw the show. I saw it on your shelf way back 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Okay? I was going to say 20 years ago. And I was like, what? Because we were watching Smallville. I was like, what is that? and you should. This is what he did. He handed it to me. He said, "Go home and watch it," and I did, and then I became a ginormous fan of the show and watched every year until they finished. So, that won't exist with games anymore.
So I still have DVDs. I have the first 4 seasons of Supernatural, season 3 somewhere around. But I have 1, 2, and 4 currently there. Behind Nick, you can't see it. I have some PS4 games still there.
Looks like you have some VHS there, too.
I do have VHS there,
That's before DVDs. You put them in a VCR.
Yeah, so
Blockbuster.
There is tons of stuff that I can go back to, pending I find a DVD player. Because I don't have one, although ironically the PlayStation.
That's another thing. Like that's literally most people's DVD players because there's not a lot of people who produce DVD players anymore.
Ironically, my PlayStation 5 can play Blu-ray and DVD, so I can just put a movie into there. But I do predominantly do a lot of digital stuff, but for people that collect video games and that's their bread and butter, there's people out there that have every single game and every system that ever came out, and they're just pure collectors. They may not even play Nintendo. They bought Nintendo just to have it.
And those are still in the box, sealed kinds of things. Those are like super collectors. Like, I mean, there are games that I would go out and buy, and then there are boutique stores that still make games that sometimes, like there was a Helldivers 2 copy in GameStop now, but there are boutique stores like Claire Expedition 33 originally was not a hard copy. You could only get it digitally. Then they released it. Baldur's Gate 3, which this is really interesting. Larian Studios. I couldn't wait to get it, so I ended up downloading it because it also would have cost me $20 to ship. So it would have been a $100 disc for a $60 game with shipping and everything, but I would have got a cool little art book, a little map, like really cool stuff that we used to get for free with the games. Used to come with manuals, used to come with things. But Larian Studios, who made Baldur's Gate 3, which is still being played to the tune of thousands of hours by multiple people. Multiple is a lowball number. We're talking about thousands of players still. They came out and said, you know what? Yeah, it costs us a little bit extra to make the disc. And it's not for everybody. But for the people it is for, it's important.
Yes. That's the way you keep your fan base. That's the way you keep your customers. And now that PlayStation's doing it, PlayStation has officially become the big fish in the water. You see that Xbox and PlayStation are now are basically conjoined at the waist. Helldivers was strictly a PlayStation computer, I believe it was on, and PlayStation.
Right, so they released some of their exclusives to PC.
They now allowed Xbox people. So when Xbox players were able to play it, they came on board, and that's why the game spiked back up, because Xbox players were like, we finally get to play this game. And now everyone came on. But a PlayStation is the big fish right now. So if you're doing away with physical copies, you got people that are very upset about it, that you're going to lose people that were getting games from you from PlayStation just for the pure fact of what you're doing. They're not even, they don't care that they're going to be playing your games digitally. They don't like what you're doing. So you're going to lose that.
Right.
And why we're talking about this is the fact that we have mentioned in the past that everything is going to become digital, which is really scary. And now, if this is the first major, big hit to the news everywhere, that Sony's going to do away with physical copies, because it starts with video games in the form of Sony, which is not just video games. Sony does cameras.
They make movies.
The movie that was just in recently, when we were filming, they had a 8K Sony video camera shooting everything, and the way it looked was insane. We shot the raw footage unedited, went back to a director screen, it's called, where the director can have a portable,
the daily reels, right?
It's a computer screen that just relays what's on the camera currently. So the cameraman is playing back stuff, and the director has basically a little iPad, and you're watching what was just filmed, and that playback looked like the movie. It looked
without editing,
just because it's an 8K camera, not 4K, not 5, not 6 or 7, 8K. It looked insane. Yeah, 6, 7. I forgot about that and then you laughed, and I was like, why is he laughing? Yeah, but Sony owns everything, so it starts with Sony, and now who's to say, Honda Tesla. Well, I don't know if he would do it, but Tesla, Honda, they say, okay, well, every car now has a chip.
Yep.
If you don't make the car payment that you promised us to make, if it's past due by 2 months,
we don't have to come and send the repo guys. We're just going to shut your car off.
We'll shut your car off. So you drive somewhere, you're stuck there. Digital supermarkets, you know, you owe the IRS money, which a lot of people do. You know, it's not just something that's like, oh no, yeah, I owe the IRS. You know, instead of garnishing your wages from your paycheck, supermarkets become digital. And you got to go in there like in China with a chip or a watch, and you got to pay for something, and then a red light goes off and you can't get your food now because you didn't pay something, or you might have.
Yep. Your food budget was $300 this week. Now it's $150 because you have to pay back what you owe.
The extremes is too. We've talked about this. Multiple people have talked about this. You post something that somebody doesn't like, and that somebody that doesn't like it is in charge of these digital operations. Now you go to do something or purchase something or go to that digital supermarket, or you're in your Honda or you're in your Tesla.
Red flag.
You know, that is some scary stuff.
Right.
You know, so, you know, people who really do hold on to everything and they hoard kind of have more like backing now to this. Like, well, I can't get rid of this because I might not be able to own something like this in the future.
Yep. And then, you know, here's another thing. We're fathers, and there are plenty of parents out there. There are plenty of people who will become parents out there. What about the feeling of opening the gift on Christmas Day or your birthday or whatever holiday you celebrate, right? Ooh, I get to open a string of digits and that's my gift? No, like I can remember opening up, this is way back, it's a toy, but opening up the Megazord, okay? Opening up a package and seeing like, Pokemon. It's the first time, like, because everybody's talking about it and you get Pokemon. Or opening up, I don't know, a PS2 box when PS2s were almost impossible to find. So like, this is a memory that I have, and this is a memory that Nick is referring to, that kids today, first of all, won't even know, or it'll be a thing of the past. I used to go to Toys R Us. Now, Toys R Us back in the day, when I was like anywhere between 7 to even 16 years old, when you went into the game section, they had flaps with the ticket in it. Oh, yep.
So you will be able to put the flap up to read about the game, right? And then pull the ticket. If the ticket wasn't there, that means they were sold out of the game.
Right. They might have a box there, but that's just like a display box.
So in the clear plastic, the ticket was there, and I can always remember $15.99 or $20 or $20.99, the most expensive game. We'd pull the ticket out. That means they had the game.
Bring it to the cashier.
And then after paying for it, you go to this, beyond the cashier, there was a
pickup section.
A pickup section for the game.
That's like now when they do pre-orders or they order online, pickup section.
It was a glass booth. We'd get the game. Immediately upon getting to the car, I would open the game up, smell it, because games smelled good.
Well, the boxes. You had the box. It's like a book when you open a book.
Smell the box. I would open the game up and read the instruction manual to the game.
Part of the best part, when those instructions, this is how we're old. The instruction manuals that used to come with Super Nintendo, Game Boy, things like that, the older systems, then they started doing away with them in the early 2000s. Like you would have, especially I'm an RPG player, you would have like extra story would be in there. Artwork would be in there. The tutorials that they force you to play in the game now, like for the first hour, right, that was in the book. It was your choice. You read it or you didn't read it.
Or you figured it out.
Right. And then you started playing the game.
Yeah. And mind you, back then games weren't that difficult, but I would want to read like, okay, if I press A, B together, I might do something special, or what does R and L do for like Super Nintendo? There's L and R. Those, what does that do? I would read that all the way until we got home. And the minute I got upstairs, I would pop it into my Super Nintendo.
How long did it take for you to start the game? Like 6 hours?
No, right away.
Oh shit!
Put the game on. No tutorial for an hour. No
patch.
No patch.
Oh my God.
Update immediately. None of that. It was just I popped the game in after being excited the whole car ride. Well, actually, being excited in Toys R Us, the car ride, and then when I got home, I popped the game in and I played, and it was amazing. And those are the things that kids will never understand, like, especially nowadays, they'll never understand that having a physical copy is worth more than getting a Roblox card, which my daughter loves Roblox.
So does my son.
And
both of them.
She gets so happy when someone gives her a Roblox card. It's a card with numbers, and then she goes onto the app to upload the card to the app, which then in turn turns into Robux.
Right, and then they buy like outfits or like little things. Right,
stupid stuff.
I have argued with my older son. It's kind of the same thing. Him just like, can I buy this card? I'm like, okay, but you're wasting money on like virtual nothingness. Now listen, I know all video games are virtual nothingness, but if I pay $60 for a game that's going to take me 40 to 80 hours to complete, I feel like I really got bang for my buck. Like there's a lot there. It's a story, it's immersive, it's a form of art, it's a medium. If I'm paying $25 to get like a battle pass to play for a month, so maybe I can get one new skin on myself and one on my web, like, dude, really? I'm gonna pay $30, $20 for something like that.
I never used to do that. When the whole like adding things, you want to buy a skin or something. Like I played Overwatch when it came out. I was cool. I didn't excessively buy things. Mm-hmm. I did, but not excessively. Like if I did see something that was really cool, I would be like, oh, you know what? I want that. And you can't even see it on your character in Overwatch. At least when the game first came out, they didn't have third person view. Now they have them, like there's game modes where you play Gauntlet or whatever, and it's third person. You can see the character. But we're living in scary times because if Sony's going to be doing this, who's to say that other companies are not?
Well, they think Microsoft's doing it too. Project Helix, which is the code name for the next Xbox, they're working on a technology. But this one I don't mind so much because you still have to own the physical copy to move disc to digital. So you don't have to have the disc in the system. I could understand that. Now they're working on proprietary technology to take it, and the license of ownership goes with the disc. So if you sell the disc, you can't play the game anymore on your system. Which means it's not really digital. It's just a digital copy you're making, so you don't have to have the disc in the system at the time. But once the disc is sold and somebody else logs in with that disc, your access is now gone.
That's crazy.
That I don't have a problem with as much as
it's just a way of stopping the like sharing.
Right. It's a way of not pirating.
Because it doesn't Xbox have there's a scam where people like sign into an Xbox and they share it. So one person is not potentially buying the game, and you can share the game.
I think you can do that with Game Pass. Same thing with Nintendo. Like you can share a game for a week digitally, which okay, but again.
Nintendo's a lot harsher though with their their bans. PlayStation got me once. I bought something and I didn't get what I bought on, so I'm like, I'm looking, it's not here. I went to the credit card and I was like, no, stop that because I never received it, Then PlayStation suspended my account. And this was during COVID, of course. So I had trying to call someone at PlayStation. I'm like, look, I bought this game. I bought something. I did not receive it. You guys charged me and I couldn't get in touch with you guys. So I stopped the charge from occurring. They're like, oh, next time just get in touch with us. I was like, it took me 3 days after my suspended account to get in touch with you guys. I had to create another account to play a game. You know what I mean? But they fixed it right away. Nintendo is like, you do something, banned, excommunicado. That's it.
And if the system is banned, good luck. If you sell that system to the school, like a GameStop, and then somebody else buys that system, the system is still banned. Yeah, that's the suck part about the system.
They will shut your. So you buy the system, which is crazy too, because it's kind of like that. You do something you're not supposed to do. So instead of banning you online, they brick your system.
Right.
So you can't use it anymore.
Right.
And Nintendo Switch 2, I hate to break it to you, it is more digital than number one.
Well, no, I know.
There's it's just crazy.
But even Nintendo, as soon as PlayStation makes this, so we'll talk about that one. I don't want to hold up too much more time, but the Nintendo came out the next day with Bethesda. It's a video game company. They make the Elder Scrolls games. They announced Oblivion is coming out on the Switch 2. They gave a date, and guess what? They made sure to point out, here's what you're going to get. And it was a cartridge. I mean, the Switch cartridges are this big, but it was like, yes, you will get a physical game. GTA, who started this whole nonsense with the no disc in a box, like I said, I'm not paying $80 to get a code on day one. I'll wait until they come out with a physical copy if I get it. Not that big a fan of GTA, but
yeah,
still.
I'm on the fence about it.
If I'm going to get it, I want a physical copy. I'm not buying a digital copy of a physical box. For what reason? They said, Sony, take down our marketing. We don't want any attachment to you. Companies are roasting them online. Domino's Pizza from the United Kingdom was like, here's a code in a box for a digital pizza.
Yep, I saw.
Okay. So all these companies, even Insomniac Games, which is a big game, it's Uncharted, Jack and Daxter, their banner on their, I think on their Twitter now, X, is a whole bunch of discs for you to choose from. All the games they ever made. Sony has gone silent with all the backlash. They are getting ratioed. They have more comments than likes. That's terrible, because that tells you that it doesn't matter. And this is not just gamers. This hit the news. Like, I saw this on ABC. I saw this on Fox. This is, and CNN, oddly enough. This is so widespread, and so many people are against it, whether or not they were digital gamers in the first place. Like you said, don't take that opportunity away from someone, because they're saying 85% of people buy digital games versus 15%. 15% of a $10 billion business is still $1.5 billion. It's not sneezing money.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
and that's if they're telling the truth on the numbers.
If Sony wants to do the right thing, they would redact that decision, because what's happening is the backlash is so real that they could sense that, oh, this is real backlash. They're not just saying this. They will boycott our system. They will boycott our games. And to do that, which is very bad decision, to do what they did and announce what they are going to do prior to one of the biggest video games coming out strictly for their platform is crazy. Because if people are really mad about this and they don't change their decision, if you were that big of a fan for physical copies, maybe you don't want to do it because you really want to play it. We'll boycott GTA when it comes out.
So here's the thing. The interesting thing is a rumor now that in December, so the game comes out in November, a month later, they're going to actually release a disc version. Which you'll still have to download, whatever updates and whatever to play it. Won't, because it can't contain, there's so much data. It can't be contained on a one Blu-ray disc, which I still don't have a problem with that, because we played games. I played a game that had 4 discs.
Final Fantasy.
That was 8. 8 had 4 discs, 7 had 3 discs. So yeah, I've played games that had multiple discs. Not a problem for me. People are like, how can you do it on a AAA or Blu-ray? Well, then make a better technology. That's the first thing.
Crossing into some really dangerous territory, man. And
I think it's bad news.
We'll see what happens in the future. What they say that's going to happen in 2028, right?
2028 is when they say it's going to happen. I don't know if they'll stick with it. I don't know if they'll retract it. We'll see. I mean, but they have gone silent. Well, and it's so bad that Sony Pictures, the account for Sony, was like, oh, let's just put a spider up, like to promote Spider-Man. And the number one comment on there was like, F you, Sony, fix your effing game department before you announce Spider-Man. Like, this is a movie that everybody's been anticipating for a while, and that's the number one comment on there.
Wow. Well, I could tell you this. The one thing that we don't have to worry about ever having just digital versions of it.
The Say What Again, Billy podcast.
Besides from that, well, we are kind of digital. We don't have DVDs. We have merchandise, though. I am a physical being.
He's there. The hat's here. Get yours.
But it's something that I need every day, and I'm so glad it will never be digital. And that is coffee from How You Brew and Cafe in Tuckahoe, New York. If you don't know about How You Brew and Cafe in Tuckahoe, New York, it is the Swab Podcast favorite coffee spot with over 15 flavors of iced coffee, sweet treats in the glass that you can enjoy in the store or take it on the go. Espressos, macchiatos, cold foam in the iced coffee. They got everything you could possibly imagine. So you should head over to How You Brew and Cafe in Tuckahoe, New York, and get your fix on some really good coffee.
That's funny because I just finished mine. I think I'm gonna have to stop on the way home.
You definitely should stop on the way home, or wait for me to finally give you that formal invite.
That would be nice. I mean, I've only been saying like we should go get coffee at.
Yes, I promise. Coming in the coming weeks, I promise. And of course, a big thank you to Spotify for Creators. If you don't know about Spotify for Creators, it is the free app that allows you to get your podcast idea
out there.
If you have a phone, tablet, or computer, head over to Spotify for Creators to get started. Nikki, great to have you back in studio. Let's not make it another 6 months before you come back.
All right, I'm here.
It's not digital.
It's real.
I feel like every episode we have the segue to do something like this. Like the last one you were on was the AI episode, and
Yes,
we were literally touching you.
Yes, I'm here, and so are our fans. I want to shout out our fans. I want to thank our fans. We've 13,000 today
Upon
plus.
recording this episode.
And you just keep climbing. We really appreciate that. We really do, because small podcasts like us, we don't exist without you guys watching or listening. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the watching, the listening, and of course going on Instagram, which is our bread and butter, where we post everything and you guys enjoying the content. So of course we are the podcast first before we were social media. So it means a lot to us to listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from, or head over to YouTube, where we have videos. In the last 2 years, we started pushing out videos so that you guys could actually see us. It was requested by the guys on the podcast. It was requested by multiple people. We got the video out now. We just started recently airing video on Spotify. So if you're on Spotify, you could literally watch us and tune that off and listen if you don't want to watch. So thanks to everybody for the 13K upon recording this episode. We hit that this morning. And of course, until next time, it's been another episode of the Say What Again, Billy podcast. See ya.